Hi, everybody. It's Mike from Here the Watchmen, and we're here 1 week away from arriving in Grapevine, Texas for the Here the Watchmen 5th anniversary conference, and it is the Remnant Warrior Conference. It's a chance for you to come out and get educated on what you need to do to be in the fight and not on the sidelines. Today, I have with me none other than the internationally famous, thanks to Mr. Colbert, Coach Dave Daubenmire. You can see his image back here. He stood up against the soft porn show that was played during the Super Bowl. And Coach and I were talking offline. It wasn't necessarily, we're all adults here. But, they could have put a warning up that said, clear the room of the women and young children at this point. But they didn't do that. And Coach has been fighting that. He's been fighting abortion in the streets. He's been helping out with the disasters with his crew. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Mike, thanks, buddy. Let me tell you a little bit of a story. The scripture says that you will be brought before governors and kings as a testimony against them and the Gentiles, and think not what you shall speak, for it shall be given unto you that same hour what you shall speak. For it's not you that speaks, but your Father that speaks through you. I watched the Super Bowl halftime show. And, I use Facebook a lot. I use Facebook just to aggravate people to start conversations.
And you do a great job of it.
Thanks, Mike. So I went out in my car, out in my driveway, in my car, and I made a little about 7-minute video on this porn that I just watched. It was the next day. And said that, I'm going to sue the NFL for, I don't know, I made a crazy statement, $383 trillion or something stupid. Of course, the left don't get jokes, right? They don't get it, and that was it, Mike. And then about 4 days later, all of a sudden, I started getting emails for interview requests, and I started getting pictures of pornography sent into my inbox. I thought, what's going on? And then finally, somebody emailed me and said, check out Sports Illustrated. So I go to the Sports Illustrated website, and there I am. Said, what? There I am. So I couldn't for the life of me. Sometimes I try to garner some publicity, right? I wasn't garnering any publicity. I was just making a video, and I said that the NFL violated. They have no right to bring that stuff into my house. That's what I said. And buddy, they came after me, an assault on me. I have so many pictures. I'm now, Mike, without being a porn viewer, I am now a connoisseur expert of male penises. I got so many of those. I am not making it up. So many of them mailed to me. By the way, they all about look the same. Yeah. But the assault was amazing. Yeah. And the lesson for me was the Lord said, you will be brought before governors and kings. Isn't that something, Mike?
Yeah, it is.
He took that stupid little video that I made in my car, put me on Colbert, put me on Fox News, right? And my message continues to be, you don't have a right to do that. Give us a warning. You want to put that smut on TV? That's up to you. I'm like you. I'm no prude either. But I deserve a daggone warning before you bring that crap into my house where my grandkids are. And then people say, well, Coach, you ought to know. They always do that every year at halftime. Well, how do I know that? How can I know that they're going to do that? So it was very strategically planned on their behalf. And let me announce here live on your show, our attorneys are about ready to make some noise. So we are moving forward with it. We believe that we have the support of millions and millions of Americans who are sick of this stuff. And so we're getting ready to fight back.
Well, it's very true. Jeannie and I, we watch very little TV. And matter of fact, we don't have cable or any of that, but we do have Amazon Prime and all that, Roku and all that stuff. And we were sitting there working last night, and the TV was on in the background. We've been watching the news, and all of a sudden we look up, and it's it's some show on, and here's a gal in her bra and underwear crawling all over some other guy, and it's like, do we really, really need to see that in our house?
Well, Mike, it's even worse than that. And I've been telling everybody who'll listen, pornography is no laughing matter, brother. It's no laughing matter. You don't have to go very far to find lives who've been destroyed by it. Marriages have been destroyed by it. People have lost their jobs. Men have gone to prison. Young girls have been molested. This is not a laughing matter. And I compared it to, can you imagine the uproar, Mike, that I would have received if I showed a picture of me giving a 10-year-old a marijuana cigarette or a 10-year-old a beer? Or can you imagine, right?
Oh.
Well, this is just as bad. This is just as bad. And not only that, there are a lot of men who are in recovery from pornography who are sitting in there in the innocence of their own home, and boom, that stuff comes in there. So this is a lot deeper issue than really. You know what my sweet little wife said to me? I never thought of this. She said, honey, that's me. Have you considered how many little sisters were maybe molested by brothers who watched that thing?
Yeah.
That's wicked, isn't it, Mike?
It is wicked. And not only that, but in this day and age, kids are so confused. You got a bunch of little boys watching that at home, and they're looking at their dad and saying, Daddy, when I grow up, I want to be just like that. I mean, it's
right?
just, we just don't need that,
And again, it's another mixed message, Mike. I heard from so many people say it's just women being liberated, right? And I said, you know what? How many people, when they pick up their little newborn daughter, you have one of those, Mike, not a newborn, but you got one. You got a grandchild now, right?
Yeah, I have a grandchild.
Yeah, so you look in their eyes, say, oh, honey, I can't wait till I see you on that stripper pole.
Yeah.
You'll look so. I mean, come on, man, right? That's liberation.
Well,
I thought that's objectification of women, right?
It is, and it truly was. I mean, look, if you're driving down the street and you go in a strip club, you expect to see that kind of behavior, but you certainly don't expect to see it during the halftime at the Super Bowl. It's just
family-friendly event, right?
Yeah, you would think so. It's football, right? It's football.
So, Mike, I ask him this. I'm sorry to dominate it, but these are all good things to say. I can't wait to get somebody on the witness stand and have my attorney ask them this question. Say, I noticed that during the Super Bowl you had McDonald's advertised. Why did McDonald's advertise on there? And he's going to have to say, well, they like our audience and they wanted to sell hamburgers, right? So you had Donato's did some advertising on there. I noticed that. Why did Donato's do that? They said, well, we want to sell pizzas. That's why they did it. Say, so what were they trying to sell us at halftime?
Well, yeah, and don't forget they turned down a pro-life ad for the Super Bowl. They wouldn't run it. So I mean, I don't know where we're going, but that leads to. And folks, listen, there's 20 seats left at the conference in Dallas. If you're in the local area and you want to come on over, there's a one-day ticket, and then there's 20 regular tickets.
And you'll get a chance to see Jamie Waldron. Is that what I understand?
That's right. Jamie Waldron will be there.
Folks,
Coach
listen,
Dave.
He is worth it. Jamie, you know what I like about Jamie? He's a young guy.
He is a young guy.
If you look around, we're all gray hairs, aren't we?
Yeah. That's why we're going to be here. The Watchmen's going to be in Idaho, in Boise, Idaho, in the first weekend in September with a conference called Igniting the Fire, which is all about reaching the young people. But, we
got to get them.
If you can't make this conference, just go to the website, sign up for your live stream on demand package. You get it for 3 months. It's $39. Okay, that's a little over $10 a month, which is more than you spend at Starbucks if you go to Starbucks. But it'll avail you. You'll be able to see Coach. You'll be able to see Jamie Walden. You'll be able to see former CIA insider Kevin Schitt, whistleblower, talking about the deep state. You're going to see Pastor Paul Begley, L.A. Marzulli, Paul McGuire, Josh Tolley, Sharon Gilbert, Derek Gilbert. Sharon's going to be talking about the coronavirus, which Dave and I are going to talk about here in a second. But you can get it and be a part of this. Use the promotional code COACH20, and you're going to save 20% off of that price. So it brings it down even further. Don't miss out on this. Go there. Just go to the website here, thewatchmenmen.com. Coach, your topic, I love it, is simply something's happening here. Boy, Jefferson it ever.
Airplane. Huh? Jefferson Airplane. Remember that?
Yeah,
Something's happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware.
And it's there, man. We're in those times, and Coach, we've got which I was sharing with L.A. Marzulli earlier. the coronavirus. I don't know if I'm more afraid of getting the coronavirus or getting sick of talking about the coronavirus. But folks, it's a serious thing. We're not shedding light on it. It's serious. But Coach, what's gripping the country and the world, so to speak, right now is fear, a mass state of fear. What does the scripture tell us about that?
Well, first of all, it's on purpose, right, Mike? God's not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And last I checked, the coronavirus is a virus, and it is flu-like, right? So I was talking even on my own show today. I said, listen, I'm interested in it. I've got some storable food. I've got some water. I'm ready for it if it comes. But I'm looking for what's coming afterwards. That's the way I always look, Mike. If I die because of the coronavirus, it doesn't matter what comes next, does it, for me? But if I live it through the coronavirus, it matters what comes next. So I'm ready for this thing, and whatever comes next, I want to be out in front of that. Because I don't know, Mike, I think it's real, but a lot of conditioning going on in it, man. They're trying to get us to take vaccines and trying to get it. I mean, come on, buddy. And the possibility of preconditioning, programming us for what? Martial law down the road, huh? Yeah. So, what do they say? I don't trust them, Mike. I don't trust any of them. Yeah. So I follow it. I see what's going on, but I'm going to tell you, it doesn't dominate my life. I'm more worried about the FBI coming and getting me than I am the coronavirus.
It's crazy, folks, I'm going to just share with you my dad, World War II veteran, called around the Philippines, was there for the duration. Used to always say to me, boiling water turns an egg hard and a potato soft. It's not about what's going on around you. It's about what you're made of. And if you're right with Jesus, if you're close to God, if you're reading the scripture, if you look at the book of Revelation, right? I mean, 5 years ago, Coach, when we started Hear the Watchmen, if you said, I'm going to talk about the book of Revelation, I would have been like, whoa, way too scary stuff. But now the answers are contained within that book.
They are. They're being revealed, aren't they, Mike? Huh?
They are. And look what's unfolding around us right now. It's not just, so the first year we did Hear the Watchmen, the big threat was the economy's going to fall apart and we're all going to starve to death. Then there was, there's terror. There's going to be a terrorist attack, and we're all going to die from that. Then, there's tainted food, and there's salmonella, and we're all going to die of that. Now it's the coronavirus, and we're all going to die of that, and here we are, all still standing.
And Mike, I wonder, do you think Kobe Bryant was preparing for the coronavirus?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that the truth? I don't mean to make light of Kobe Bryant's death, but yeah, no. And that's just it. I told someone the other day, they said, are you afraid to fly to Dallas from where you guys are? Because we're very isolated in the mountains where we live. And no one in our town, we're just all like, oh yeah, the coronavirus, but we're very isolated up here. And someone said, are you afraid to go? I said, I'm more afraid of driving down the highway up here at night with no moon. Because it's pitch black. There's elk that run across the road. There's a million things that could happen.
People texting, right?
People texting, yeah. And then all of a sudden they hear a big boom and their windshield's broken and there's a dead elk on the side of the road. Right. Yeah.
I'm in the Lord's hand, Mike. I'm in the Lord's hand.
That's right? Exactly
I prepare for it. I prepare for it, but I'm ready for anything at any time, right?
That's exactly
we're not hunkered down here. We got, like I said, we got some food, we got some stuff, but I think I'm going to see summer, be honest with you. I think I'm going to make it to summer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to as well. And I won't be buying one of those I see on eBay. They have masks for sale, $10,000 for a grip of them. Yeah, it's like, come on, and somebody will pay that, and it's like, just come on. It's the fear, the stock market, the same thing. It's the fear of what's going on.
We live in a fear-driven society, though, Mike. That's the way it is, right?
That is.
God's not giving us that spirit of fear, right?
That's it.
Fear not. He said, how many times does he say, don't be afraid,
Yeah.
fear not, I'm with you, don't worry about it.
But this is how Satan works. This is how
it
the
is.
enemy, he gets a grip on all of us
Yep.
and turns us into animals, basically, based on that fear. Now, Coach, your topic, something's happening here. Give us a little hint without giving it away about what you're going to be talking about.
Well, I'm going to try to connect not only what's going on in the culture and the society as compares to what the scriptures tell us, but you know me, Mike, I'm always about what are we going to do with it, right? And I use the illustration that these are signposts. Remember Rod Serling's Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
Signpost up ahead, right?
Yeah.
Next stop, the Twilight Zone. So these things are all signposts to us. What are we going to do, right? Are we at our exit yet? Is that what that signpost is telling us? Once we gather all this information, what are we going to do? And I'm going to tell you, Mike, because I've been part of these for 5 years, I'm going to tell you something, buddy. We're a lot farther down that road than we were 5 years ago,
Yeah.
right? Huh? Aren't we?
Yeah.
Aren't we? And more people are waking up, and so what a time to be alive. And I want to say to people, don't miss what's going on. You've
Yeah.
been called into the kingdom for such a time as this. What a time to be alive. And by the way, something's happening here.
Yeah, and I was talking with Jamie Walden the other day, and we were talking about, it's great that people have a prayer closet, and it's great that they read the scripture, and it's great that they watch these YouTube shows and do all that. But what are you going to do with all that?
That's right.
Eventually, you have to come out of your prayer closet, and eventually, you have to walk out your front door. What are you going to do when you walk out? Are you equipped to be a good soldier for Christ as you walk through your community? And that's what this conference is all about, folks. It's about equipping you to go back into your community
Yes, sir.
and be a good soldier for Christ. Because, Coach, we see too often people sitting on the sidelines, don't we?
Yeah. They don't know what to do, Mike. They really don't know what to do. And so I'm going to try to come and encourage them and give them some strategies. But ultimately, brother, you got to quit watching the football game and get engaged in it. And that's really the illustration. I said, you love to watch the game. Well, I'm going to tell you, it ain't anything like being out there. And
Yeah.
at some point, we have to, faith without works is dead.
Well,
at some point, we have to move into action. I know that's Jamie's message as well.
Yeah, and look, if you're in a football game and you're down by 6 and you're on the 20-yard line and there's a minute left, what are you going to do? Are you going to stand up and say, oh, well, I lost,
That's right.
Or are you going to get in and you're going to fight with everything you got? Because that's where we're at right now. We are in the last days. And now Coach is not a date setter. I'm not a date setter. I am a pan-tribber to the bone. I'm just going to keep serving Jesus, and however it pans out is how it pans out. But, we can't be, as Christians, fear-based. And we also can't, as Christians, turn on one another. Never have I seen anything like what goes on in the, whatever we want to call it, let's call it our little town, where one pastor attacks another pastor. And, I got into this thing the other day, Coach, where on Facebook, people were just going after Catholics because they were putting the sign of the cross on their forehead in ash because it was Ash Wednesday. Are you kidding me? I mean, coronavirus, wars, yeah. And you're worried about whether someone else of faith, and don't tell me that Catholics are all evil. I'm not buying it. They're good people. They believe a little differently than some of us believe. But just because they put the mark of the cross on their forehead in ash on a particular day of the year, hey, that's the way they celebrate their love of Christ. It's not okay to chastise them for that. What's your read on all that, Coach?
Well, what do I have there right there on my hat? What's on my hat, Mike? I hear it all the time from the religious crowd. Trust me, right? Trust me, I hear it all the time. Jesus said this. They came to Jesus one time. They said, hey, Jesus, those folks over there, they're casting out devils, and they're not one of us. And what did he say? Yeah, go over and break it up. Don't let them be doing that. He said, dudes, those who are not against us are for us.
Well, listen, folks, you know,
relax here.
I'll tell you, you can't miss Coach at this conference. It will change your life. I'll tell you right now, I heard Coach a very long time ago now in Bozeman, Montana. I think it was one of your first times you ever spoke, and you weren't planned. It wasn't planned. You just, God just put you up there, you know.
He did.
And the message that I heard was a message I'd been waiting to hear, was get up off your chair and get out there and do something, you know.
Amen.
And
Hit somebody, right, Mike?
hit somebody. Yeah, you know, do something, you know. And that's what you'll hear. Again, go to hearthewatchman.com. Use the code Coach20. Save yourself 20% off that on demand. You know, you can't miss this. Jamie Walden, Sharon Gilbert, microbiologist, Skywatch TV host, talking about the coronavirus. Derek Gilbert, talking about the gods of antiquity. You've got Jamie Walden, who's talking about it's a command. It's not a suggestion that you get out there and be a warrior for Christ. This is a kid who he served in the Marine Corps in Afghanistan and Iraq, and then one day he's home and God says to him, you need to go back and you need to protect the Christians that are there. So he goes back with some of his buddies on their own and
told his
wife
goodbye.
Goodbye. Said, I think this is a one-way ticket.
Goodbye.
You know, and you know, like, look, Coach, you've been called upon. I've been called upon. But I got to tell you, if Jesus called me today and said, hey, I need you to go over to Afghanistan, I'd say, I think you got the numbers crossed. You want to call Jamie.
Call me next week. Right? Yeah. Call me next week.
Yeah.
A little busy right now, right?
Yeah, but this guy, he went over and did it. You're going to hear from him. You're going to hear from Paul McGuire, who's off the hook, crazy great. Of course, Dr. Lake, Pastor Bagley, Josh.
Well, Mike, if they get that streaming, they can bring people into their house. You can have a party right in your house and watch all these guys.
You can all wear your coronavirus mask, and you can have a pizza party right there in your living room.
There you go.
Know, but you know, just avail yourself of the information. Avail yourself, because the tools that you need to survive the times ahead are in the knowledge that you will gain. And so we want you to be there. We want you to be a part. Coach, I'll see you next week in Grapevine, Texas. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us.
Man, we look forward to it. And Mike, if I got it right, I get to tip it off, right? I'm first thing.
Yep.
Oh, man. They won't need any coffee, will they, Mike?
No. That'll fire them all up. You're first thing in the morning, and you'll get everybody going there. And again, folks, just don't miss it. So, Coach, I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Thanks for having me on, Mike.
You're welcome. Hey, folks, don't forget, as we always say here on the Watchman's Report, there's absolutely nothing you can't do with Jesus in your heart, except nothing at all. Get out there. Be a part of the solution. Stop being a part of the problem. We'll see you next time here on the Watchman's Report.